Sure. My name is Todd Lakey. I'm a state senator from Idaho. I represent Legislative District 23, which is kind of a mix of rural federal lands and also some of the more populated areas in the Treasure Valley. Well, I wanted to travel here to Williamsburg because of the importance of what we're doing. In Idaho, we're really an independent group of people. Out west, we believe in states' rights and the 10th Amendment. And that's really what this Convention of States is about. We recognize that the federal government has really grown beyond what we think is appropriate and what our founding fathers intended. And this is an opportunity for us to assert those states' rights in a way that was given to us by our founding fathers and their inspired wisdom. Boy, a lot of things stood out for me at this simulation. I really enjoyed the committee process. I served on the Fiscal Restraints Committee and was part of the subcommittee that put together the resolution for the balanced budget. And that process, it was great to see people, we all had that same feeling in our hearts, that same desire to assert states' rights, but we have different perspectives about how to do that. And bringing that together in a single resolution that came out of that committee was very impressive to me. And it really also reinforced the viability of this, because we do this as legislators. But we came together with different perspectives. I might have done it a little bit differently, but brought forward that resolution. And then the floor process was also great to watch and see the different amendments that were proposed, but the wisdom of the entire group really showed as we passed the different amendments and the resolutions. I think I gained even more confidence in the process. I learned that people, again, can come together from across the country with those same values, just like we come together, our individual legislators, and develop something tangible that represents the collective wisdom and will of the various legislatures around the country. And that confidence, I think, is something that I can take back to my state as we've looked at this over a number of years, and try to instill within them that same confidence in the process, that it can work, that it does work. And I probably would have done a couple things a little bit differently, but I also trust in the process, and a lot of what we passed relied on that trust in the states and the wisdom of the states to come together and, if they are concerned about something that the federal government does, be able to counter that, to adopt something that's more appropriate. So maybe the numbers would have been a little bit different. I would have worded things a little differently, but overall I was happy with the resolutions that we came forward with to better, to give the states back the federal lands, to rein in the Commerce Clause, the balanced budget, the Supreme Court. All of those things were great resolutions and amendments. Just when we first went in and passed that first resolution to say, okay, the committee has come together, they've made this recommendation, the floors had amendments, we went through those amendments, and the first one passed. That was, kind of gave you a good feeling inside. And then I really, like I said, enjoyed the committee process, where those moments we had lots of different amendments being put back and forth, and we tried to develop a resolution that we felt was realistic. This is a simulation. We're dealing with a very compacted time frame, but we wanted to pass something that we felt was ratifiable, and keep that in mind, what the big picture is. At the end of the day, we need to get that many states, a supermajority, to ratify. And to see the committee realize that and bring forward one resolution that they really believed in on a balanced budget and felt was ratifiable was also a special moment for me. Boy, those are big shoes to fill. I mean, we had the opportunity to hear from, simulated George Washingtons and Patrick Henrys, but they echoed their words that they said in history that were really inspiring to us today. And they were great statesmen, somebody that, people that I aspire to be like. But I think we also have individuals that same quality, that same caliber today in all of our states. We have statesmen that I look up to. There are things, that's I guess a credo that I strive to achieve, to be a statesman, not a politician, not an elected official. And I think we have those, and that's also what is reflected in this Convention of States simulation. People with those kind of ideals working together to find consensus for the betterment of our country. I absolutely think it's the right time to call a Convention of States. From our perspective, the federal government has lost its way. They're going beyond what our founding fathers intended. And we need to exercise that right that was given to us by our founding fathers under Article 5 and bring the states together and see what we think is important as a nation and how we can best redirect our federal government with that power that we've been given. And I don't think there's a time that's more important than now to do that.
I can tell you from firsthand, it can be done, it will be effective.
So I think there are people who've never even heard of it that are going to see this and be impressed, and I think that builds enthusiasm.
This is the defining moment and the last opportunity to get our republic right.
We need a solution as big as the problem.